Okay. Next up, we have the Burrows team, Amy Bennett Burrows. What's going on, Amy? Thanks for participating. Again, I hope you actually, Amy, I'm going to actually suggest you listen to Steven, the previous one I had done, just because you got, or sorry, Scott. I'm so bad with names. Scott's one. It's 35 minutes long, but there's going to be a lot of good intel in there, not specifically to yours, but just kind of like the idea of what you want to do in your journey, like, where you want to get going. I'll do a bit of that with yours, but I think there's still value in just kind of seeing mindset, whatever, if you are serious about the SEO journey. But let's dig in. Let's go in. Looks like you've been going at this for similar to what Scott was going at there. The 1.9 domain rating there, no backlinks, and then you do have 33 organic keywords. Your competitors, a lot of the big guys are coming in there. And so you might see this and go like, why is this coming up as a competitor to you? It's because one of your most popular pages is is related to that. And that's where you have to be a little bit careful, I think, with SEO, and that like if your site is seen too much not about real estate and potentially something else. I'm actually going to say you should use that page in some way, because you do have a lot of other competitors that are in the real estate space. So, but other people that are listening potentially think about that. Like you don't want to get too off of real estate. There's a lot of content you can write, but you don't want to be seen as not in real estate, right? I just touched my mic. I hope I didn't mess it up. No, it's still good. Okay. Here we go. So, organic keywords that you're ranking for. I'm just on the last page there. But Barky Pines, you can see there, and you do have a page for that. I might even go in and actually make that page a little bit better. Potentially, if you can get a backlink to that page, you're just getting good like information on there, and make that page a good resource for anyone searching for information about Barky Pines. If there's anything you can do to speak to that page to make it, be a bit longer, link back to that other thing. It doesn't hurt to have like pages like that. That's just associating your brand with something that's obviously got a bit of keyword flow going on there. Um, and they might potentially, that might be they give you a backlink, if you chat with them, right, or them from their site, and that can help you out overall. But that's again where I'd be careful with not having too many backlinks. Not like like you want your backlinks to be about 2 pages that are you want to start growing, right? And yeah, sorry, and that was the page here. This page here has got good SEO keyword flow going to it. So you're in Jupiter, Florida there, or Florida. I don't know I think Jupiter is part of it. Apologies. I'm not super familiar with the, with the States. And I mean, I'm familiar, but not with hyper local areas here. But one of the areas, Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, homes for sale, low keyword difficulty. And you can see here, like you've got the big guys coming in. This is going to be a hard one to. So I was trying to think of like, it's still going to be a hard one to go against though, even though like it's saying that it's easy. Like you're going to have to beat Zillow on Palm Beach Garden, Florida. That's a hard one to beat, right? So like, if I'm thinking about that, that's going to be a hard space for you to go in. And so like, what kind of micro searches in that might you be able to hit instead? With that said, though, because you are a local site, because you are local, you might be able to beat the big guys like Zillow. Like in my market, it's not like our big Zillow type sites are beating everyone in every space, right? There's a lot that they're losing in, because the local sites do have that local juice. And so like if you can put together backlinks, so if you say, hey, look, we got Stuart, Florida on the map here, and that might be one that would be really good for your team. And so how can we get into that top 10? Well, first thing, start with the content on there, right? You've got, it looks like default content on there. And so like think about it, like if Google's looking at crawling your site and it's seeing that it's the same same heading, same stuff, same H1s on like similar sites and all that, right? It's probably not going to be too enthused to like even rank index your page. You may not even have these indexed, right? Yours is indexed now, but there's times where Google will be like, "What? Like, we have this page going over and over." Ranking's another thing, right? And so, like, if that one is a good one for you, put content on there, and then start thinking about, how do I get backlinks that are going to be around, Stuart, Florida, homes for sale in Stuart, Florida, right? If that's something you can land, with sites linking back. So, let's say you have a real estate agent colleague in Colorado who's talking about moving from Florida to Colorado, right? And then part of their blog, it links to Stuart, Florida. Now you've got a backlink on there, coming back to your page. That might help you start edging out and then ranking higher than anyone else on there, right? So if I look at this keyword, sorry, there we go. I'm not familiar with it, but like, I think this one, number 12, I don't know I don't know all the competitors in the US, but I don't think this is a really big competitor out there. Maybe they are since 1958, but Beck's Realty, Stewart Houses for Sale. These aren't great places to be in, like the 23rd spot. I'm not, jumping for, but what are they doing to get up there? And who you're competing, right? And so, like, Stewart doesn't have a huge domain rating. Like, it's not very, very, very high. Stewart. He's only got a 7, and he's on there. I don't know why I'm gendering this site, but is this a Real Estate Webmasters? Real Geeks site. Interesting. Yeah. We just launched a Real Geeks site, so we're kind of looking at that space through Sync. Shout out to them for doing that. They look like they're doing a bit of work on it. So, I might even look at, like, if that's an area you want to go in, start looking at a site like that. They're not crazy ranking, but just seeing what they're doing, because if you can emulate some of that, that's victories for you, right? I'm just looking at the backlinks that you had on there. It looks like you have one from here, featured agent of the week, and then doc search. So maybe you had a listing on there, and yeah. So, and the other one here, this one looks like it dropped as well. So I think that's why you're actually, going as. So I don't know, what the relationship is here, but this is a Real Estate Webmasters site. It looks like they did link to you previously. Burrows Team featured Sutter and Nugent agent of the week. It's no longer there, but, like, that could potentially have been a good backlink for you. And then I'm going to look at one of your competitors here. So this is Jupiter Homes, jupiterhomesales.com. So not a crazy high domain rating. They got a lot of backlinks, which we're going to take a look at. And then a lot of keywords. So, Stamford, Connecticut. This isn't, this guy's guest posting, Dylan Snyder, the Snyder Group. Was that who we're looking at? Jupiter Home Sales. Put his little, interesting mix of keywords, I guess. And I just want to go back and look at, again, domain rating's not all, but I just want to kind of see, because this guy has a lot of backlinks. Oklahoma Home Builders Association. I'm going to just pause this for a sec and just look a little deeper on this. And so something to point out is when you're trying to look at your backlink profile as well, when looking at Jupiter Home Sales here, they have a ton of backlinks, 2,500 backlinks, but there's only 140 referring domains. And so the backlinks, what I noticed here, a lot of them are these like this, the OKBHA, HBA. There's a lot of that, and that's there's a huge, anyways, a huge chunk of that one on there. And so now you can kind of look more at like what are the actual backlinks on there, broken down into just single individually. And so if it's something new, it's not this isn't, I'm not trying to be just, that's, yeah, I gotta probably blur that one. And like people can put bad backlinks on you too, right? You can't. So my understanding is Google won't punish you for backlinks because like you truly can't control where backlinks come from. Someone could, swarm you with a bunch of backlinks, whatever, right? But there's not a huge local cluster of backlinks or anything for this site. So this site here, though, when you look at it, you go like, okay, it's only 17 domain rating, and then what are we ranking for, right? It's not necessarily always even looking at what you're ranking for, like what are these guys ranking for, so that you can emulate, and what's the value of that to you, right? And what are the opportunities there? So this site here, they're ranking for some. I would kind of look at it like this to see like these are some pages you could create where you might have some potential opportunity there. They're not breaking too high into them. But Old Palm Golf Club might be a good page for you to create. It's a high volume keyword. And if you write a really good article about it, you might be able to get some backlinks on there. And so you write a page about, the real estate side of it, maybe some compelling new like articles or some, historic facts or whatever. You could potentially pull out some places like this where you reach out to them and say like, hey, you guys have this article about this, or I want to write a guest article on your site about, certain houses for sale, whatever it is. It's probably too late for me to come up with some suggestions of content, but you get the idea of like what we're trying to do is like, how can you leverage and look at it like so individually, like what is a keyword that is worth it for you, in your market? I could be off, but if it's not that specific keyword, but what's a keyword in your market that's going to have high volume that would pay off if they started landing in that, right? So if people are looking for homes for sale near Old Palm Golf Club, or if it's, the Jupiter homes for sale, whatever it is, like Jupiter is a good one to look at with them because like they're in the top 15. It's a decent volume on there. And, they themselves do not have a good flow of backlinks going to that, right? So they've got Realtor Sun, the Snyder Group, which then lands here. Our Realtors on. Okay. And this is sometimes too how you find new things, right? So that's the one cool thing about SEO is like you start going down different rabbit holes. Even just being a business owner, you go down these rabbit holes of like looking at what your competitors are doing. you find this. This looks like a place where they match. You can list your business here. So they're matching agents to that. It's $20. Okay. So this one's paid. I don't know. I don't know if I really can comment on whether or not, I don't know the rules on whether or not you should be buying backlinks, but I guess to look at it from this way is that, these guys, you don't necessarily, so this may not be the best one to emulate that from, but if I am looking at this keyword of Jupiter Real Estate or Jupiter Homes, Jupiter Homes for Sale. And I'm hoping that's, defaulting there. Let's see if that shows that. 15 Jupiter home sales. 0.2 homes. Funny enough, I don't know if they're doing it in the but I think they're getting out of the sales side and they're going to the rental space. Send me all your leads. 0.2 homes. I don't know why you're doing that, but anyways, top 10 page though, like to get on there, you are competing against some of the bigger guys, so that is going to be a hard one to go up. So again, you can try and win that one by they're hitting the top 15 with one mediocre link from realtors on here. So sorry, I don't want to disparage these guys. I don't know if it's mediocre or not. It's not, they don't have a high domain rating, but they might have a high traffic flow. I don't know what the selling proposition is for these guys and what they're doing, but just to simply buy the backlink, $20 might get you in the similar space at jupiterhomesales.com. You could see that he maybe have done that, right? And then, or just to have a listing on there, right? And then, that's kind of the stacking of the SEO play, right? Is like, there's no guaranteed payoff, right? It's not like, with PPC, generally speaking, you spend X amount, you're going to get X in return. It's not like that with SEO, right? So, you could invest into getting backlinks, paying people to do work and writing and getting whatever, and however you go about it, doesn't necessarily going to pay off, right? It doesn't necessarily work out that way always, that it's going to, come back in return, right? Okay. Well, I'm going to try to keep this under 20 minutes, but just went through a few more things. So, I'm looking at I was looking at your sitemap to see just kind of what kind of other content you're going. You've done a lot of blogging, which to me usually spells out someone that is passionate about SEO and you are trying to rank for certain keywords and whatnot. So, you know what? I'm going to actually pause one more time and just read an article really quickly and then come back. So this is exciting, actually, Amy. Shout out to you. I'm not going to say, I actually didn't think you had done a lot of SEO work or work on your site. So I was kind of taking this from the stance of like, you're just kicking off or whatever, but it does look like you've done a bit of work and you might just need to do a little bit of fine tuning because like this is fantastic. Like this is, I did an audit before with someone and suggested this, like put together, this is fantastic. It just needs a little bit more work. And like, I'd say like you're doing the 80% of it, just do the extra 20% and leverage it. Right. I don't know why the Joseph. Yeah. This is pulling from that. Okay. So related posts. So I will just say this. Yeah. Write an article about this, like support this page. But I might even like, I've noticed you're doing a lot of blogs. Also consider like not blog pages, but just static pages in categories, like build out a bit more communities. And I know I said in my last one, like don't build out, a crazy amount of everything for everything. But like, I'll give you an example. And I'm not saying you have to do this, but like I did pages, homes for sale near certain schools, right? Like schools in the city. And so Calgary schools, right? And so now like this is a huge thing to undertake, right? But people can look for homes near these schools. And the goal is like that, like, our brand is being associated with that. If people are looking up info on the school, if they happen to land on us, we're providing that info on there. And then otherwise we're just hoping, and honestly, we've had other people in our market do this after us, right? So it's like, there's value in that. People who are really big in the SEO space, like our page isn't even indexed properly on there, right? So loss for us, but like opportunity, he is on the front page of that. I'm not saying schools is the play for you, but I do think golf courses is. Things like this, if you're doing like Ocean K Park, I don't know, is a great destination for outdoor. I might not do a blog on this. I might do Ocean K Park and do a whole page and do like answer questions like what time is it open at, when's the best time to visit this, what are some events that happen throughout the year, um include your video like this. I'm not going to watch it right now, but it's like it's probably banging, right? um uh Include your video. Shout out, you used to be at Real, it looks like, so shout out to you. Come back, we're a good brokerage. um and if not, and if you don't want to, and like these I wouldn't touch, like you've already done this one, just add the content to this page now that it's here. But I would say start thinking, if you can, about like and this is where I was going to go with this before I saw that, is like um Frenchman's Reserve, right? That's got a lot of searches. People are searching for that, right? And the one thing you have to think about too is like your SEO strategy should somewhat revolve around your market. And I think like if I'm in a travel space or a space where I'm going to get people coming by often, I want to go like, okay, uh, people that are traveling here then might look for homes for sale around this area because they loved this golf course and this whole experience. And so like they are searching for that, like Frenchman Reserve real estate, or they searched Frenchman's Reserve for some reason, but you're one of like the top results. So then when they're thinking to go back, they're like, oh, I'm gonna go look at the houses for sale on there. Like it's the billboard, right? So like create like homes for sale near, and it doesn't have to be in this kind of space, but create that in there. And then your blogs, I'd say like just work on the SEO structure of them. Because like when I'm looking at this, it's like, do you have good homeowners insurance? And then there's nothing else. It's pulling the related, nothing else that's kind of right. So this should be a header tag. This should be a header tag. This should be a header tag. And I might even, look at this and go like, if you're going to write this, right? And I'm saying this from experience myself. It's like, if you're going to take the time to write something, I'd say like, don't just write it to write it, but like write something that's going to be more intentional, that's going to be more beneficial for people in your audience, like in your space, that's going to go, hey, um, uh, like this was valuable for me. Because like, think about it like this. Do you have a good, good, or do you have good homeowners insurance? I think mistake there. Sorry, I'm weird. Um, it's I don't want to, like, I'm not trying to be insulted. It's a low value article though, right? Like reading this before you begin, support to understand what kind of coverage you need. It's just like, it's very generic, right? Who's reading this? Like, who is reading this, right? Do you send this to clients? Like, you probably wouldn't send this to clients because there's not like a clear piece on it, right? So it's like, think about what you're writing and then write it specific for those people, because that is the type of stuff that people are going to go, hey, I want to read this because it makes sense to me, right? Like best beaches, um, uh, like that's an interesting one. The silver tsunami, I don't know what that is, but that's an interesting article. Yeah, okay. Seniors, right? So like this is a very good article, great captivating headline. I bet you would get a lot of like organic readership on this if you're posting it to social and whatever. So you got your H1 there, and then yeah, that should be a header tag, right? And um, that might be something you could. I don't know if that's something you would want to rank for. I don't know what this is gonna. You know, aging population. So like I'll just say like that could be something where, you know, you could potentially get a backlink for, where you write a really good article about real estate, you know, like you've got a good base there of the silver tsunami thing. Someone else might want to reference that article, right? So think about it. Like if you've written that really good article, how do you write that a little bit better so that then someone goes, okay, I want to um, uh, link back to this article because it's really good. So think mortgage brokers in your market. They might be ones to link that, right? People that do mortgages and that have websites. You're like, hey, link back on this blog that talks about retirement, and say like, you know, insert this piece that says silver tsunami. So now you've all of a sudden got people, right? And like that's how you're building your backlink profile. But you've got content, right? So you've got good content. Um, excuse me. I think you social too. Like you're comfortable. So like leverage this, right? Leverage this content. Um, let's see what you're. So like this Riverbend Park, right? That like this looks like it's probably a great video. You've already got a good viewership on there. Um, Riverbend Park. Good job. Good job. I I, I don't know. Well, let's just see. I'm gonna see before I. Maybe you've got a couple. Riverbend. So I don't know if I want this going to just blog content though. Um, and maybe it's okay if it's as a blog, but um, you know, yeah. Sorry, yeah. I would say this: try creating your next time you're doing a content piece like this, or consider 301 redirecting this. If you guys don't know what a 301 redirect is, that is essentially when you and I'm pretty sure I know Rue does it for sure. I'm pretty sure Sierra does it, where you forward links, but it would basically be this link gets forwarded to, um, and like you really want to do that, especially if you've got good SEO or something on a link, right? Um, and yeah, you wouldn't have any action on there. Uh, but Riverbend Park. Sorry, I'm gonna just look at one more thing. I just want to look a little deeper on the keyword difficulty in that of Riverbend Park, but yeah. So you know what I would just say is like potentially consider 301 redirecting, but regardless, if you keep this page, just add more content to it, because like there's a potential for you to rank on that type of keyword, and that only happens though if you've got the content on top of that, right? So, and then also like think about it, like if you've got people coming from either one going to that page, like I would even link that page if you don't have it on there. Yeah, so link your page back to your article, um, back to this, right? From here to there, link back to it, and then get the content in here. Get content in this section here, if you can. Homes for sale near, and so that's one thing I did was sorry, I got caught up in the schools there, but homes for sale near certain landmarks or certain parks or golf courses, right? So like you might do a whole section near parks or beaches, homes for sale near these beaches. And then in that, you're going to have a page about that beach, content about that beach, and then you're going to populate your listings either based on a radius, a map, uh, postal code or zip code, sorry for you guys, whatever it is, right? And then just think about like these pages here. How do you get these more like deeper into, you know, content, right? And can you serve people a bit better, right? Like people that are traveling, especially like Airbnbs, right? That's like if that's a big market and where you're at, think about that Airbnb market. Think about what they're searching, those travelers, because like those people, you know, potentially are coming by down the road type people, right? So if you're that person who's giving them the info, you're going to be the person they want to buy with, they want to work with, right? But also think about if you're putting this content in, it will help grow your channel if you've got the SEO working for you, right? It will help build the right audience, the right people for you. So the more you can kind of like complement your other businesses and your other pillars, with one another, the better you're going to be. So I'm over 30 minutes. I'm going to leave it at that. I hope you kind of document your SEO journey as well along with this, because I think your site has great potential. It just needs content, like every site does, which needs time, right? But content is a big one, and then some backlinks. You're just going to need to build, especially local links. So start defining. See, I say this off the hop. I said define, what you want to go after, but you've already got content to work with. So like start repurposing this content, start bolstering it, start potentially considering making some pages on this, and like I was saying, and then and differentiating some of your pages and seeing what kind of like squeaks you can get into the SEO and like growing it, right? So we've had a screenshot of kind of where we're at with this right now. So you got 33 keywords. We're down right now. I would say the backlinks, let's get people starting linking to you. If you like in your content too, like think about if you've ever helped someone with any of this. Like I haven't done a deep dive on it, but like you've got a lot of really good local guide content here. So like put your links to your pages on there, so then people will know, like they're going to associate, like this is Burt Reynolds Park. I'm so bad. I'm so bad for this. So we have a blog again. And like, I think that's the formula you probably went and hit with this, right? And then I'm not going to say this happened, but like you probably haven't seen a lot of results from this on the SEO side for this. And so you're just like, damn it. But like you've already put the work in. So just, make this a bit better. I'm not going to, I can't give advice as to whether or not you should just bolster this page or create a new page, 301, bring this content over to it, 301 redirect. If you got an SEO company, maybe chat with them about that. But I would say just make this page better, link it back on here so that people are associating you with the two, right? This is cool. Featured places. Okay, that's really cool. There's a note for Dusko on my team that we should be doing that in there. So great. Like this is why we do what we do, because we learn while we're doing things. That's a great thing. Our team has over 300 reviews. So if I can include that on our YouTube videos right there, that's great. So very cool. Thank you. This is very cool. Yeah. So I'd say like get your page on here, right? And then, and look, like you've got good, and I can't guarantee it doesn't affect that, but, leverage that to get people to your website, and then building that, right? And the part is like, this video, if you put in here, like, feel free to use my video or something, and then just credit my website, you might get a backlink from that, from the content you're doing there, right? So you're repurposing in that space, right? So something to consider, like, how do you leverage this great content you've already got going on, you've already created, and to now like leverage it to further your efforts. Good job.